He was a #1 overall draft pick and a former MVP, but have we seen the last of Derrick Rose? Welcome to Give and Go. I'm Madelyn Burke, joined as always by DeAntae Prince and Jared Zwerling. Fellas, this is a really confusing situation here with D. Rose. I mean, second year in a row that he has gone AWOL from a team. Last season on the Knicks, he disappeared, didn't tell anyone where he was. Again, pulling that same move with the Cavs. And it seems that the injury-riddled guard is kind of deciding whether or not he still wants to play this game.
Yeah, I think we're being led to believe right now that the Cavaliers are sort of like in the know with what his situation is, so maybe this one is a little bit different. But you can see sort of the toll being taken on him year after year, missing time from injury, and this is a guy who was, what Russell Westbrook is right now. He's the most athletic point guard in the NBA that we really ever seen. So to become sort of a shadow of his former self, seems like it's taking a toll on him.
And also injuries can really mess with a guy, not just physically, but mentally too. I mean, we saw Brandon Roy retiring at a young age because of what his knees were putting him through and coming back from that. But it's a little bit different with D. Rose because he's not quite dealing with the same level of recurring injury. At 29 years old, this is, early in his career still.
It's absolutely amazing. 2 years ago, he had that bank shot against the Cavs in Game 3. They go up 2-1 against the Cavs. It's just 2.5 years ago, and this has happened since then. The guy's under 30 years old, so he has an amazing life ahead of him. He's got so many things off the court. The Adidas deal. He's got his great After School Matters program, a very good community program in Chicago. Does a lot with his kid PJ. So he's got so many things that he's really got going on for him in his life. So basketball-wise, it's really tough to see all these injuries. It's got to take a big toll on him mentally. I talked to a source close to Derrick actually today, and he said no one knows what he's going to do. Not even really his close family right now. So he's very private, very closed doors right now. It's a very difficult decision. He's got a huge career ahead of him in many ways. So hopefully he makes the decision that's best for him in his life.
Now, perhaps though, D. Rose went to Cleveland to kind of bring back his career. Playing alongside LeBron James could have been a move to do that, but as we've seen with Kyrie Irving, that not necessarily is always a successful story. I mean, LeBron James and D. Rose on the court together have been outscored by an average of 10.9 points per 100 possessions. Now, no two-man duo involving LeBron James has been that bad since they've been keeping this stat, which is about 10 years. Does that say something? I mean, if LeBron James can't elevate your game, does that make you as a player a little bit more worried about, can you come back to that MVP caliber level?
Well, I don't know that they were ever all that compatible as in terms of the way they play. Rose is a guy who needs the ball in his hands. Usually, if you're going to be a guy who succeeds with LeBron, you need to be like Kyle Korver, you need to be like Kevin Love. You need to be able to sort of like stand in the corner and let LeBron facilitate on your behalf. And Rose really isn't that player at all. And it doesn't help that they've sort of like, once Rose was removed from the roster or removed from Cleveland, they went on this long winning streak, and now they're the hottest team in the NBA. So it sort of says a little bit about how those pieces were fitting together.
Have we seen the last of MVP D. Rose?
It's going to be very tough, Madelyn, DP, to see this because it's a situation where he's so mentally drained right now. So what do you do in that situation? The memories I have from D. Rose are so amazing. He was the best guy in the league to make those little shortcuts in the lane, those quick little fast-paced moves. His ability to get into the lane and dunk on somebody at about 6 feet, 6'1". I know he's listed higher, but he's actually not 6'3". He's a little shorter, like most guys.
Aren't they all, though? Aren't they all?
Allen Iverson wasn't 6 feet. He was more like 5'9", 5'10".
In shoes, though.
I saw these memories like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, obviously winning MVP in 2011. So incredible career. I hope he's not done yet. I hope he has the reinforcement of LeBron, who should be the leader in his corner. Push him, D. Rose, we need you back. D. Wade. Let's win a championship together, right? Shouldn't that be the momentum, right, Madelyn, DP, that you can get your first title in Cleveland, come back. Look, may not play 20 minutes a game, maybe play 10, maybe play 15. Expectations a little lower, but we need you back. Hopefully the veteran leadership on this Cavs team gives D. Rose the motivation to come back because this is going to be a very exciting season. They're really rolling right now in the Eastern Conference, still a weaker conference than the West, so hopefully he comes back.
But, you got to want it. And if this guy is now 2 seasons in a row taking a kind of mental break from the game and not sure if he wants it, I think that speaks volumes as well.
Yeah, I do hope that he comes back and sort of like changes his story though, just because I remember watching him as an AAU player, like 16 in Chicago, and he obviously stood out on the court with guys who were, All-Americans themselves and pretty much did it the whole way through Memphis and all that. So it'd be nice to see that whole thing turned into like a storybook ending.
Yeah, far too talented of a guy for this to be the way he ends his story. All right, continue to check out The Crossover on si.com/NBA for all the latest on and off the court.